Hi guys, and welcome to the State of Crypto, your one-stop for all crypto-related news. I'm your host Martin, and this is episode 24. XRP investors unhappy, BitGo and EOS support, and Wave, DEX, and Ethereum tokens. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. This is all for entertainment and education purposes only. Please do your own research before you purchase or invest into any cryptocurrency or digital asset. Now, if you are catching the stream live, welcome. And if you are catching the replay and have any suggestions, please make sure you leave us a comment below. Now, if you want to keep up to date with the latest crypto-related news, make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button and that bell so you're notified when we go live. And if you want to keep on chatting with us once the stream is done, you can join us on our Discord. The link is in the description. Now, guys, today it's going to be a very light stream. We have... We don't have many news that we have to cover. I think it's just 4 articles that we found and some really light chart analysis on some things that happened right now in the last 2 hours, right? And I'll explain why they happened. Now, basically, if you have EOS and you use BitGo, well, they announced today that they launched a multi-signature wallet and custody service for that digital asset. Now, BitGo stated that basically its security, custody, and liquidity services are protected by multi-signatures, right? Now, what does that mean? That means that you need two or more signatures to access the funds, right? So think about it like a one of those security boxes at the bank where you need 2 keys to access, right? Now, that's that's for all supported assets, and it's integrated via a single application programming interface. Now, the services supposedly now support more than 200 coins and tokens. Now, we're going to move on to market cap because interesting things are happening, right? Let's talk about first. Yesterday, market cap down 0.65%, right? Or 0.52%, sorry. Yeah, we're in the daily. Basically closing at 255.65 billion. Right now, market cap sitting at 263 billion, up 3.14% up. What happened, right? Well, at 7 p.m. basically it was 8 a.m. in Asia, so market opening, let's say the trade war news that we had Friday that caused this upward movement in on market cap basically got placed on pause, and maybe people took their money out because it's a weekend, we'll see what happens. But as soon as Monday bell hits, price goes up, right? Because people are still seeking refuge, and there's a lot of news coming out right now that we didn't get a chance to cover because they're basically coming out in the last 19 minutes. We didn't have a chance to prepare for them, but it's just basically that stocks drop, bonds climb, trade war ratchets up, Asia stocks fall, renminbi weakens on rising U.S.-China trade war tension, and that's what we said, right? Trade war. That's why we were seeing this price spike up. It got placed on pause on the weekend. Now it's resuming. As we can see, basically everything that we went down, we just recovered, right, on market cap. So that's it. Simple explanation. Nothing much there, right? Now, Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance yesterday was up, right? It went up to 0.47% from an opening of 70.68, closing at 71% market cap. Right now is sitting at 71.18%, which it's an increase of 0.24% in total, right? Now, that's pretty good for Bitcoin market cap. It's increasing. We'll see something in a second. I just had this, and there's really not many news on Bitcoin out today, right? Say for that's just stories that we covered in the past, and we're not going to go into detail again. Those stories are stating that Bitcoin has been acting as a safe haven during the trade war. Price is going up right now. We'll see in a second. We had a price spike. Now, this article just states that, recent price action suggests that Bitcoin might finally be operating as a real-time macroeconomic hedge, which is stuff that we covered before, right? We didn't call it precisely that, but basically it's a safe haven. Now, what is going on with Bitcoin? Let's look at it in the main chart that we have. We're still within the downtrend, breaking above that 75% equidistant channel. So we're trading now between the 75 and 75 and the 100%, right? On that 25% range. Still in the downtrend, still sitting below the 20 MA on the daily. Nothing much, right? However, we're gonna look at the other chart that we looked, right, where we have mapped that uptrend. We had this triangle, right, this green line and this yellow line that equate this basically neutral triangle, right? We said we might expect a breakout. We didn't know if it was gonna go to the upside or the downside. We had certain things that would have pointed out to the upside, right? But look at this. Before we're respecting this uptrend, right? But we're also respecting that curve, right? We touched it twice, broke up, right? Why? We're gonna go look in a second, right? So we're in this chart on the daily. Look at the 4 hours, right? We had detected divergence that hadn't played out strongly, right? And then right now in the 4 hours, right? And this is just right now, talking about it right now, not nothing else, right? We are seeing that we made this spike on price, right? But look at the momentum where it's sitting at. And this is just starting to develop. Don't take this too heavily. We need to see how the next momentum keeps on developing. If momentum keeps going up or if it starts to stagnate and go down, then we would worry because we would be creating bearish divergence. And that would mean price action to the downside, potentially price action to the downside. Now, right now, we are seeing some of these bullish convergence that we had basically play out. It was on the RSI, it was on the MACD. Right now, Bollinger Bands open on volatility, sitting a little bit high on the RSI, not too high, but at 61. Being bought, but not overbought or anything too crazy, which is fine. On the 1 hour, I didn't look at the daily. Sorry, volatility is still really open on the Bollinger Band, sitting around neutral. Yeah, 49.10 on the RSI, has room to run to the upside, downside. Very neutral on the RSI. Momentum starting to die down on the daily, which is good. Now let's see how we close the week because we didn't talk about that yesterday, right? It was a red. It was basically a red week. We lost price. Right now, week is going up, which is good. But it just started 2 hours ago, right? We couldn't expect much. And we started with news of the trade war or with fear of the trade war, and that's why price being propelling up. Now we're gonna look at the 1 hour, right? Things that we were looking at the 1 hour. Well, ignore this green line because it was from the previous when we were looking at the 4 hour. Right now on the 1 hour, we can see that momentum's up, higher price, and we're going with basically what's going on. Seeing higher on the RSI at 68.15, right? Yeah, during yesterday's stream, I think we said we were here. We could expect some maybe downwards movement. We saw a spike up, right? And we did go see that downward movement. And afterwards, we touched that line again, held it as support, and then propel up. Why did we propel up and not keep on breaking down? Well, mainly news of the trade war, right? Pre-trade war, whatever, fear kicking in. And we created bullish convergence, right? Look at this. We're converging on the lines. One's like this, the other one's like this, right? Well, opposite on the screen, like this, right? And we covered that on a chart the other day, and we said it would be right now. Let's say we would be here, right? Sorry, that's too big. Straight line on the price. We're seeing an upsloping line on the indicator, right, which put us on green, which would mean convergence, right? So we're seeing convergence on the chart right here, boom, going up, this going here. It's good. It's nice that we're seeing that, right? And in the short term, price is going up, which is normal. High on the RSI, like I said, 67. We stepped a little bit onto overbought, then we went back in with these two candles that developed since. And this is good, right? We are consolidating downwards right now, at least in these first two candles on the hour, which would mean it could be either a pennant that we form, right? Or maybe a downsloping wedge we could form as well, right? Which would then mean, or usually mean, price continuation to the upside, which is good. Now, what I would expect to see, and that's a maybe, sometimes it doesn't happen, but we should go back and touch this resistance that we broke out of and confirm it as a support, right? To confirm that we've really broken out of, and then start basically kicking up to the upside again. Now we still have this other, let's say, more major triangle that we haven't broken out of, but we are breaking out of this minor one right now, this green with this line, right? let's wait and see how the day keeps on developing, how the news come out, how the fears of the trade war keep on impacting the prices right now, and that's basically what's been driving all the prices up, right? Trying to see if anything on the chat, but I hope music is good, music volume, voice. I'm still trying to get used to streaming with sound, but yeah. Anyways, that's what I have for Bitcoin right now, breaking up to the upside. We should see some consolidation on the 4 hours. At first, I was a little bit. I'm worried about this, right? If we don't make more positive momentum, then we could see potential price to the downside, which I mean, it doesn't. It's not bad, right? I mean, it just could mean we could go down here, touch this, and then go back up, which would be good. Or we could consolidate downwards, which would be good as well, right? Downwards, downsloping consolidation, potential move to the upside, right? We could flag, and that's fine. Or we could either channel to the downside, pennant, or broadening wedge to the downside. As long as it's downsloping, it's better. Now on to basically Ethereum now. On Ethereum, right? Waves, it's a blockchain platform that has added support for Ethereum-based ERC20 token, standard compliant tokens, to its decentralized exchange, right? DEX. For you guys that don't know, DEX, when you see DEX and we're talking about crypto, that means decentralized exchange. Now, Waves expects to attract new traders to the platform with this thing they're doing by adding the tokens. And they also stated that soon you will see new trading pairs with ERC20 tokens. Last year, we conducted a voting for listing of ERC20 tokens. Bancor, abbreviated BNT, won the voting and became the first candidate for a listing on Waves DEX. So we made it. The next asset that can be added via the gateway is Ethereum. Then we will add Bitcoin support. It is scheduled for September. Now, this is a very short article. As you can see, nothing much, right? That's all there is of information. I'm just basically quoting this part of the article, which is the main thing. And after that, there's really nothing else. So, good things for Ethereum coming, at least on Waves exchange. Now, let's look at Ethereum dominance on the daily. Oh, sorry, we didn't say price of Bitcoin right now, sitting at 10,400 and, 10,467. Now, onto Ethereum. On the daily for dominance. Ethereum dominance decreasing, right? Yesterday, at a red day, 1.81% down, right, from prior day. Right now, sitting quite neutral, right, at minus 0.08. Right now, minus 0.06, not 0.9. Anyway, sitting at 7.83% dominance. Not much we can do there. However, price action of Ethereum is increasing, but that just means the price or the adoption of Bitcoin is increasing more, right? That's why it's decreasing against them on the market, but Bitcoin is increasing and the price of both are going up. Just Bitcoin is being more adopted, let's say. Now on the price, right? We were on this down sloping wedge, right? If the stream ends too soon or the news ends too soon, I'll explain what a wedge is and what a triangle is. And why this is not a triangle, right? So right now we broke out of this downsloping channel we had traced. Basically broke out of this downsloping resistance we had. We will see in a little bit whether or not we have really broken out or if we're breaking back into the structure. Because in the daily, it just seems that we're sitting there, right? Anyways, still sitting below the 20 MA. Volatility in the Bollinger Bands open. Making a little bit more positive momentum than previously, and sitting around 42 in the RSI, which would put us around a neutral position. Now on to the 4 hours, right? And let's see what's happening, right? We had this divergence or convergence, right? It's not playing out yet, right? See price, lower price, lower price with less negative momentum, converging, right? As we showed on that chart, right? We'll be doing this number 5, right? Price going down, indicator going up, 5 convergence, right? Green. So keep that in mind. We'll keep on referring to that chart as many times as we need, so things are clear. Anyways, starting to make some a little bit more positive momentum. Still sitting lower on the RSI, not too low. Have potential move to the upside, right? We have all this room to run up, which is fine. Now on to the 4 hours. On the 4 hours, right, we also had that convergence, right? Bullish convergence, which was playing out to higher prices. We see this small bump, which is lower than our previous one, so no divergence or convergence there. We're just moving with the trend. It's fine, nothing to worry about. However, right now, right, let's see on the 4 hours, this is still lower than our previous high, so I'm not worried about not making positive momentum on Ethereum on the 4 hour yet. Now on the 1 hour, I was a little bit worried earlier on today. Why? Well, because we didn't know if we were going to make more positive momentum, and we were sitting here, right? To here it would be lower, and then from here to here it would be higher. That would mean bearish conversion, bearish divergence, right? And that would have got me worried. However, we have developed more positive momentum, right, on the scale, on the 1 hour scale, which is good, right? That means we are playing good with the pattern. We also had this convergence develop on the 1 hour, right? Bullish convergence, which propelled us up to the higher prices. Also showing it on the RSI. Now we're sitting a little bit high, not too high. That's 58. Starting to go down, right? We are using that line as support now, which is good. That means that our structure was valid, right? And this downsloping wedge, it's playing out. However, the breakout was not too powerful, and usually when you would break out of a wedge or a triangle, you would expect a massive explosion. We are not exploding too hard, so there's a chance that we might break back into this channel. The 1 hour is too small of a time frame to actually determine whether or not we're broken out. I would expect to confirm it on the 4 hour or on the daily, and then we would really be able to say we are out, or we are just basically threading on that downsloping, right? Which could then have us adjust either the trend or some other things, right? But anyways, right now we're out. That's good indicators. Right now we have to wait for consolidation to happen on the 1 hour, and then see where we go from there, right? On the 4 hour it would be the same thing. We would need on the 4 hour, we are now back into the structure apparently, and we would need to see consolidation or something else happening, right? At least to confirm we are outside of this downsloping channel we had traced. That's all for Ethereum. On to Ripple. Ripple, has investors going mad. Some people are not happy with it. Generally, or overall, there's a frustration or feeling of frustration with Ripple and what they're doing. People expecting things in the short term are seeing not what they want to happen or develop. Anyways, Ripple is just a riddle right now, right? Every time you find something that's good, it has upside. Then you find something that has equal potential downside. And when you find something that you don't like about Ripple, then you come out with something that you do like about Ripple, right? So it has people divided in between, right? So it's a tough one to call it on Ripple right now. Ripple has an indirect influence on XRP, right? Even though they said they're not associated with the coin, they still hold big bags of XRP, so they can manipulate the price, or not manipulate, but dump on the price, or do whatever they need with what they have on escrows, and still have impact on what's going on, right? So Ripple holds the majority of XRP, let's say that. Now, with Ripple releasing the money from the escrows, a lot of people are frustrated. We covered it yesterday, and we'll mention it again a little bit in a couple minutes, right? Now, a user on Reddit questioned Ripple's recent donation of 1 billion XRP to Coil, right? We said that they donated to Coil so that the platform could get more momentum, and then there would be more adoption for XRP. Now, I see the potential for XRP, right? This is what the guy says. I see the potential of XRP for sure, but how can we ever expect it to appreciate when millions can be sold off in the market to fund various startups and whatever else? Is there a way it wouldn't dump the price? I would think the price will take a dive and then recover over time. If, and it's a big if, people still think it's a good investment. That's what the guy stated. Now, the XRP community is very hopeful on the future of XRP, right? You can look at all these guys on YouTube and everywhere, and everyone's like, yeah, XRP to the moon, yay, the greatest digital asset ever created. Yeah, it's fine. It's good. It has use case, and it's fine. Nothing wrong with that, right? Now, the problem that they have with Ripple is the way they have been handling XRP, right? Dumping XRP, removing XRP, giving it to donations, etc., and how that's been affecting the price, right? Now, some of those investments that they're making right now can certainly help the price of XRP on the long term, right? They they invest in MoneyGram, they're investing in Coil, and they have other projects that they want to invest in, and they're gonna use the XRP that they have to get the money so they can invest on other projects, and that's good because it's making them more solid on the long term. Now, Peter Brandt claimed that Ripple has been manipulated the price of XRP, and he actually stated, and this is quotes, the chart pattern for many months has shown the distribution of XRP by Ripple. It has manipulated the price to hold support, but if support gives way, Ripple will be forced to dump in a major way. That's what the guy's saying. Now, he used the word manipulating because it's how Ripple is controlling XRP price, right? With the movements of the, like we said, with the movements of the escrows, with the sales of XRP, right? Fund and then donations and all these things. Now, as of yesterday, we covered this article and we said that there are 2,000 people or more than 2,000 people signing a petition in change.org asking for Ripple to stop dumping their XRP every month so that, you know, they could get some good price action going on in the market. Now, a lot of investors still believe in XRP in the long term, right? And that is XRP, let's call it a very long play, right? They put 55 billion XRP on escrow. A billion get released every month, and if they don't get used, they get put back in the escrow. Now, 55 billion, right? That's 55 months they're going to be doing this. Dumping Ripple on the market, getting it back. Dumping Ripple on the market, whatever's not sold, getting it back. It's a lot of months, guys. Ripple, it's a very long play. Expect the price of Ripple to maybe fluctuate within certain ranges, but I wouldn't see anything going nuclear or too crazy in the short term. Maybe we can see some things happen, but they might be short-lived. Ripple does want to keep, or it would seem that Ripple wants to keep the price of XRP range-bound, right? They would show stability, more people would adopt it. But still, at the end, is manipulation. Now on to Ripple. Price of Ethereum sitting at 191.66 in case we didn't say it, right? Now, Ripple on the daily lost momentum yesterday, right? 0.39, losing momentum. Lost dominance yesterday, 0.38. Losing dominance right now, 0.84. That's fine. Price is going up. Same thing that happened. We had this triangle. We're breaking out of it. We have convergence. Yeah, we're convergence that is not played out strongly yet, but waiting for it to play out, right? Anyways, breaking out of the triangle, we traced, or actually wedge. This was a triangle right here. This green line, right? This green line here and this green line here. That would be a triangle. However, we are breaking out, still within the down sloping channel, sitting below the 20 MA on the daily. Bollinger Bands, volatility open, sitting low on the RSI at 41. Not too low now, starting to move towards a more neutral territory. Now on the 4 hours. Contraction of the Bollinger Bands on the 4 hours, which means this move up we saw could not be finished, and we can see more of that movement up right now. Look, we almost went to the end of that triangle before we broke up. That's fine. We are sitting around 54 on the RSI momentum. We are making negative momentum, right? And that's not good on the 4 hour, because we look at the previous high, right? It would be something like this, and it would be this one, right? So it would be from here to here, right? So it would be we'll be creating bearish divergence, and we don't want that, because then that means price action to the downside. So we hope that Ripple starts making positive momentum. Maybe this negative momentum that we started to create gets negated somehow, and we start seeing more move to the upside, or positive momentum build. We've broken out of the triangle. I would expect that we come back, retest as support that resistance that we had, and then maybe either bounce along it, or we have more move to the upside. Let's look at the 1 hour and see what's going on. Wow, that's weird. It's weird to gap, right? But we have a gap on the Bitstamp. We're gonna look at another chart, see if we also gapped. Okay, cool. On the Bitfinex, right? That uptrend, we said that we had an uptrend going on on the Bitfinex chart, which also would hold here, but this is too busy, right, to be doing the uptrends. So we're putting the trends here. We are still within an uptrend, let's say, for the time being. Sitting below or broken the midline. Bollinger Bands open on the 1 hour, really open, sitting above the 20 MA, making positive momentum. Now, this wouldn't be too good, right? Because right now, slightly going down. Sitting at 61.92, 62. So this is going up with this, that's fine. And then we would be creating that, what we said, right? Bearish divergence. And that could potentially mean price action to the downside. We are seeing price action starting to move to the downside on Ripple. And that's fine right now because we would be consolidating and we could be making some sort of a either downsloping channel. We could create a downsloping wedge or a pennant. Still yet to be determined. It's two hours past since that pull we had. And we need to wait for things to develop, right? Anyway, sitting a little bit high on the RSI at 56. MACD right now, we are making positive momentum. No signs of momentum decreasing or stagnating, which is good. Price of Ripple sitting at 0.2746 cents. Now on the 4 hour, I want to look at the 4 hour again real quick. The 4 hour actually, oh cool, I didn't see this one. So we are making positive momentum now. It was too small. And this wouldn't be good, right? Because we're going from low to high, making that bearish divergence also on the 4 hour. We need to watch out with Ripple because there's potential that we actually end up making bearish divergence, which would mean price action to the downside, making us basically go back into the bottom part of the channel and then maybe testing this upsloping support that we have on the channel. Let's see what happens, right? Anyways, no news for Litecoin, so we're gonna move straight into the market cap, the dominance, right? Litecoin right now, yesterday lost dominance 1.28%, right? Losing dominance or gaining dominance right now 0.29, sitting at 1.79% dominance. That's fine, no worries. Now on Litecoin, right? We also have this wedge, downsloping wedge that we had traced. We seem to be not breaking out of it on the daily. Basically, nothing much on the daily. We had that divergence that has not played out yet, or that convergence, sorry, that bullish convergence that has not played out. Let's see on the 4 hour. This would be, this could potentially be good, right? So we could be making a bullish convergence that could propel us to the upside, which it did. On the 4 hour, not making positive momentum, sitting at 52 on the RSI, which puts us on neutral. Momentum on the negative. Oh, cool. New. I didn't have this thing here. So momentum decreasing, and basically we went outside, touched that top part of the Bollinger Band, sitting above the 20 MA right now. Broke out of this structure, breaking back into it. Let's see in the 1 hour what's going on, right? On the 1 hour, nice. We are making in Litecoin. We are good, right? We are making a higher momentum. Everything else going on, so good stuff for Litecoin, at least here. And we can also see that we did have bullish convergence, right? If you want to call it. So yeah, we had that bullish convergence that propelled us up also. I mean, this is part, we should have kept on going down, right, with all these coins, but the fear in the market, right, of the trade war, it's that what brought us up, creating those convergences that we see propel us up to higher prices. And that's, oh snap, I changed the chart, and that's pretty good. It's pretty good that this is happening, right? Anyways, I'm gonna get rid of this real quick on the 1 hour, right? So good things happening with this. Now consolidating downwards, that's fine, nothing to worry about. It's regular consolidation, potential move to the upside if we keep consolidating down. which would mean we could expect another leg to push up so long. Yep, that's good. So let's wait on more candles to develop before we call it something. Now on to Binance. Binance dominance on the daily. Yesterday lost dominance 0.53. Right now losing dominance 1.62%. Sitting at 1.56. We didn't talk about the price of Litecoin. Litecoin sitting at $74.12. Let's go into the Binance chart, right, and see what's going on. Binance chart, downtrend, still holding, sitting open volatility on the Bollinger Bands. It's trying to make less negative momentum. Sitting low on the RSI at 40.28. Not too low, but low. Let's call it sold, not oversold, but sold. Things that we can see, right? We had divergence or convergence playing out here, but nothing really happening on the 4 hour. Let's see what's happening in the 4 hours, right? On the 4 hours, we did have convergence, right? We can see here lower low than this low, and lower levels of negative momentum. However, we are making a we didn't. It's still lower than this high, so it's fine. Nothing there. On RSI sitting at 42.84, momentum going more neutral, right? And let's look at the 1 hour now. Right, nothing to worry here because we are actually going with, let's call it with the trend. We're going with the trend, right? Higher high. Higher high, right? That's fine. Nothing to worry about with this coin right now. All I see is that we are making a downsloping consolidation, touching that midline, holding. We had a large week here, and that's fine. Nothing to worry about. Momentum starting to stagnate a little bit. Right, we have same levels of negative momentum, which means momentum could start decreasing. Let's wait and see. Sitting a little bit high on the other side, but not too high at 54. Meaning we're being bought. We were a little bit more bought a couple minutes or 2 candles ago, but that's fine. What else? Well, that's it. Yeah, we're done. Anyways, guys, that's all right now. Thank you for watching. Again, if you like what we do, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, show this video to your friends, bring them into the crypto community. We are fine teaching people here and talking about whatever you guys want. Now, yeah, class is missed, guys. Go have fun. It's Sunday. Go rest. Tomorrow, start of the week. Gotta go with everything, guys. I might start putting out some educational videos on charts and on on coins, right? What are the coins? What is Bitcoin? What is blockchain? What is cryptocurrency, etc. And maybe some on charts, right? I really want to do something on charts, and I might do it down here real quick. Right, there's a triangle, right? What would be considered a triangle? This would be a downsloping triangle, right? You have a straight line, a downsloping straight line acting as support, and a downsloping line acting as resistance. Now you could also have something where basically, let's go from here to snap. Let's make this a straight line, and then we can go from here to here. Right, this would also be an upsloping triangle. We have a resistance that is horizontal and an upsloping support. And if we were here, we would basically just be making these movements, right? Up, down, up, down, up, down. Contracting until we exploded upside or downside, right? And same would happen here. We would be riding this upside until we get to that point where we would explode to either way. Right, now on what else is a triangle? Well, we could have triangles. Anything where both lines are moving, let's say this, a little bit up, a little bit down, but not passing that flat line, right? If we pass that flat line and both lines start moving either upside like that or downside like that, then would be a wedge. Right, now here we would see price, and we would see it happening, and we see this a lot, right? We were trading within this line like this, and then we break up or down, whatever. Right, now these would be all triangles. Now, wedges. Wedge would be, this would be a falling wedge, right? This would be a rising wedge, right? And how do you play them, right? So basically, let's say you had a movement, right? You were coming from up here, you go here, and then you start, oh snap, I'm making lines or drawing, I'm drawing, very cool. So you will start moving here, and this will break to the upside, right? This will be a bullish wedge, right? You can either come from here, or let's say you had a strong pull up, you consolidate down, right? Then you break to the upside. That's likely what would happen. Now you could come also from a pull down, right? And you can consolidate down sloping like this on a wedge and a falling wedge, which would mean exhaustion and would push the price up, right? Now this on the ups, when we pull up, we consolidate down, that would be giving room for accumulation, break to the upside, right? Now this would be the opposite. If you have a rising wedge, right? Either you break down, that would be the opposite of this, right? If you flip it 180, you would get that this 180 over its horizontal axis. That would mean that you would be consolidating upwards, which would be here like consolidating downwards, which would mean potential break. It would always break. It would mean accumulation, or not the accumulation, but anyways, we'll be here and then we'll break to the downside, right? If you were coming from down and going up, right, it would mean exhaustion, right? Here it would also mean exhaustion, right? Like you're getting exhausted and then you sell off, right? So you come from down, you start consolidating upwards. That means you're gonna break down again. Come from upwards, consolidate like this, break down, right? Here you go either from the upside, you come from the upside, start consolidating downwards, you're getting exhausted. Sellers are getting exhausted and you would break up, right? Now that would be a wedge, right? And you could also have broadening wedges where you could go like this and and then you could go, yeah, like this and like this, right? And we'll talk about wedges. I'll make more in-depth videos, but this is just basically something that you guys should have in consideration if you're gonna start trading or doing things. Patterns that you should watch out for. Most times you will see triangles and wedges, and they're very common, especially after impulses or doing, yeah, like we said, right here, downsloping wedge, right? Even though it forms a triangle, ignore it. If both of the lines move downwards or upwards, diverging or converging, it would make it a wedge. Triangles, we already said. Straight line, and then I have to do them the other way here, sorry. Straight line as support, upsloping resistance, or the other way, right? Straight support and then upsloping resistance. Straight resistance and then upsloping support. And then you can have just a regular triangle, right? Like that. So that's it, guys. Anyways, guys, that's, yeah, like I said, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll make some videos more in detail teaching. That'll be all. Class dismissed. Thank you.